Hello everybody, back here again for vlog a day, and today is Thursday the 5th, and today was a lovely, beautiful day to be alive. Got up this morning, fairly good time frame, got to sleep in a little bit. The dog I've got here is just so chill in the morning. She doesn't care a bit about nothing, and Bruce has been able to keep from pooping all over my floor, which is nice, so definitely a big fan of that. So got a couple things done this morning, keeping them quiet, got them outside, all the good fun stuff. Let my wife get some rest, and then she got up, and from there we were able to get the dogs all fed, got her ready to get around so she could head off to work, and loaded her all up, got that all done, headed up to work. Got to looking on Facebook Marketplace and saw somebody selling a mobility scooter for stupid cheap, which tells me it's a piece of junk, but we're needing one for the cruise ship, and I don't really want to spend like $800 or $3,600 for a new one. And I thought, what the heck? So I reached out, and it was basically down Oak Hill, which is down by where I go to walk the dogs to the RVs. Pups, then there I walk, and I thought, oh, no big deal. So as I was reaching out to them, as I was heading out to go walk the dogs, like, hey, any chance I can come by and take a look at this thing? I want to look at it. And they're like, yeah, no big deal, blah, blah. So I need an address. They're like, when? I'm like, well, right now. And actually, the first, like, what are you talking about? I'm like, well, I linked you through this exact post with the scooter. So how about we go ahead and just assume it's a scooter? So apparently got posted a bunch of stuff. I'm like, okay, whatever, who cares? So got that figured out. And I said, well, now, if I can, but I need to know your address. And then it took like a couple other chances. Finally got him to give me an address. And at this point, I'm already heading south out of town. And I get a response that says they're actually here in Edgewater. And I'm like, they sent me the address. I'm like, you mean Edgewater? And like, yeah. I said, well, your post is Oak Hill. Like, that's why I waited until I was heading on my way to Oak Hill to reach out, try and set this up. Cause I knew I wouldn't be like, hey, maybe in 2 hours I can come by and take a look at it, kind of shit. So they're like, I said, well, I got to go do stuff in Oak Hill. Cause at this point I had to run by the pharmacy. I had to do some other things. Actually, not run by the pharmacy. I had to run by the work, drop off my wife's lunch because she forgot her lunch. So I had ran all the way up north to drop off her lunch. I was heading south to go walk the dogs. So at this point, I needed to just go ahead and go get that done. So I was like, well, I'm about an hour out, so I'll reach out when I'm on my way and see if it's still there. And they said, okay, no problem. So, but why is listed as an Oak Hill thing and it's right here in town? I have no idea. Because had it been here in town, I would have went at like 10 o'clock this morning and done it and got it over with, but oh well. So head down, walk the dogs. It goes fine. As we're walking out, there's like a little water canal area right where we walk. And as we were walking on the bank, we're not real close to the bank, but every once in a while the dogs play in it. There's a spot where they can play in it quite a bit. Then another spot where it's a lot shallower. I let them play in it anytime they want. But the deeper spot, I don't let them play in as much because it's really tan in the water. You can't see in it at all. So, but as we were walking by, we were probably, I don't know, the dog was probably 3 feet from the water, and something spurred and shot out, and it kind of gave that gator look from the way the wake went and whatnot. And I thought, well, it could have just been a big ass carp or something too. Could have been a big ass fish up on the side of the bank trying to eat something, and then got chased off also. But I was like, no big deal. So it wasn't big. If it was a gator, it was a tiny gator or a big fish. Depends on how you look at it. So we walk on down, I kind of chuckled off, but when it spun and took off, scared the shit out of that hound dog, dude. He like, that bloodhound just like lost his mind. He was like, hell no, ran like crazy from it. So kind of chuckled and laughed. We headed on down the walk. Got the whole walk all, done, whatever. Got down to the end, turned around, we were heading back. And as we come rolling up about that same spot, we were about 6 feet farther to the east than what we were, to the west than we were. I look over and I was like, I wonder what these gonna be. Whatever it is, startled by there. And right there is laying probably about a 4.5 foot gator, which 4.5 foot gator sounds like a big gator, but it's not. Their heads are yay wide. Like, you can put your hand on a 4 foot gator, you can reach at, most wide hands can touch both sides of the head. So they're not very big enough that if it jumped up and bit your dog, it might leave some puncture wounds, but it's not gonna be able to pull your dog back in the water very well. And you can grab it easily enough, especially on leash, you'll be able to pull it back in. But he was laying there just chilling out on the edge of the water, having himself a good little sighting, looking for food, just having a lot of good fun. And I just go himself, grab a picture of it real quick, kind of let the dog over there by it. The dog doesn't see it. The dog ain't looking for gators. They're not paying attention. It's not on their, concern list. And as we walked on past it, so I stopped and got a picture of it real quick. Then the thing spooked and shot back in the water like hell. So I try not to interfere with them at all in any way, shape, or form. Now, if they're out like on the bike trail or on the hiking trail, I will chase them off, slap their tail, whatever, get them out of the way, because I don't want somebody else killing them and doing harm to them. But when they're in the water like that, I do my best to kind of give them a wide berth. And this one's just, he's pretty young, pretty skittish, big boy, girl, I don't know, but not an issue there at all. So, but I sent a picture of that to the owner of the dogs and like, hey, here you go. Also, her dog found a feather to roll in and just rolling around on top of the feather. I have no idea what kind of bird it was from. It didn't really look that much. So got back from there, and basically on the way back, Texan says on the way to look at that scooter. Went and looked at the scooter. It's in pretty rough shape. It's not a nice scooter at all by any means, but I go, hey, we got a charger and da-da-da-da, and it's not the right charger. I knew it wasn't the right charger when I looked at it. I'm like, there's nowhere on this thing that would fit that plug. You guys just grabbed a charger from something else with this garbage and said it was for it, which maybe they didn't know any better. Maybe they're dumb. I don't know, but who knows? It was a eviction clean out, and it was all the junk left behind, and this was one of the ones that was left behind. Needs new armrests. Armrests are all cracked and beaten. There's a lot of the things that are rusty and stuff, like on the frames and stuff and whatnot. It's got different aftermarket batteries in it, which I gotta see. So I ordered a charger. Actually, I went ahead and bought it for dirt cheap, like so cheap. I took, you know, 20 bucks off when I saw the charger was definitely not the right charger, and then got home, looked, and the charger was 200 bucks. I'm like, holy shit, that ain't right. So I started doing a little research, looking around. Ended up having my wife call another company after she got home from work. So I went and got her. She said she was ready to go. So I had to go pick her up and then take her to physical therapy. Got her done at physical therapy. While she's at physical therapy, I went over and checked my Suburban, talked to them for a few minutes, and then hang out with them. Went back, picked my wife up, took her home, and she got to see the scooter outside because I hadn't put it away yet. It was still outside in the garage. And then she got on it, drove around a little bit, and saw that it worked, and she needs a little bit of practice on driving that thing. So we definitely need to practice her before she gets on a giant cruise ship full of people, and that's not going to be fun, running into people and running into stuff, and especially starts getting cruise ship drunk. So gotta figure that also. But went ahead, got inside and got talking a little bit, and I started looking online, like YouTube and some other places, trying to find out what make and model and year this thing was, and just kind of giving it a general idea of what was happening. And found a company while I was looking for their stuff. I said, hey, call them. Here's a serial number of the thing. See if they can tell you make, model, year. And she called the first number, which I found on the YouTube page, and then they said to call this other number, which whatever. So I called that number, and even though they said if you have any questions about your warranty and stuff, or ordering parts, or how to figure out stuff, call this number on the YouTube. Said who cares? So got that done. She called them, got the new number, called over there, and told them, found out it's a Jazzy Select 6, and it was made in 2009, I think it was. So it's got some age on it, but like I said, we need it to work for 8 days or however long our cruise is. I'm not sure how long our cruise is, but 5 to 10 days, however long the cruise is. That's all it really got to work for us. I don't care about the rest. And it's way cheaper than renting one is bringing my own. But now the part sucks. I got to drive my truck to Miami. Within there, I got to get a rack on the back or something to haul it down there. Might see if I can't find somebody else that is interested. I also got to decide if we're going to take the regular wheelchair, so in case the thing dies, or just the better leg. I don't know. This whole thing's going to be a pain in the ass. Just going to be a pain in the ass. But hey, better be a pain in the ass and cheap than be a pain in the ass and spend a shitload of money on it. So, but went ahead. She got me make, model, year. So I looked up online, found a charger for $25. So the 20 bucks I took off was $5 less than what the charger would be, but I'm good with it, and it's still so damn cheap. Even at that rate, we're still 1/8 probably of what it cost us to rent one there, if not more. That's the cheapest I found, and I'm not even sure they had availability. So yeah, that's worth it to me so far. And I figure worst case scenario, her dad might need it, her aunt might need it, just a mobility scooter, or I'll donate it to the vets, some shit. I'll donate it to one of the charities somewhere that has people who need these things that can't afford them. So, because this is by no means a beauty queen. So I gotta decide how much I'm gonna work to clean it up, or if I'm not gonna worry about it all and be like, hey, this thing is dirt cheap and we don't care. So, but got the charger ordered. Went and ordered myself a new pair of running shoes as well, because running shoes are getting kind of wear out. I threw away my walking around shoes, which are always leftover running shoes. Pulled my least favorite running shoes, made them into walking around shoes, and so now I got to rotate. I always have 3 pair of running shoes at all times, and I basically needed to get another, so I took one out of rotation. So ordered the exact same pair that I actually have my feet right now. Replaced that order with, no, it's probably my favorite of this batch of 3. So got that done. Went, got my run in, got back from running, grabbed myself a shower, ended up having ourselves a nice little dinner, and basically got that knocked out. Enjoyed our meal. Ended up having meatball subs, so ended up having just hoagies and bread, whatever, I guess, little buns, and then knocked out the subs there, and it was all good to go. So got done with that, watched an episode of Grace and Frankie, and headed back outside to enjoy the beautiful weather, and decided I was going to play with my 3D printer again, which I have not done in forever. So got the 3D printer fired up. Decided I was going to do it a couple days ago, so I turned on my dryer, my filament dryer. Got some more filament that was sitting in the thing. I got it all dried out, so hopefully it'll work better. And loaded up, and I printed one item before I went to bed. Printer, I got it all leveled and got it all checked and all kind of crap. Printed one item, and it printed fine. And from there, I made it small. I shrunk something way down so I could kind of test the printer, and then got that taken care of. And then from there, went ahead and started another print, which was like 3 hours and 45 minutes or something. It wasn't like a real long print, but I shrunk that item down also. Normally it was like a 12-hour print, but I shrunk it way down, kind of try something different. So got it done and printing, and we're good to go. So check it in the morning, see how it turns out. So I went ahead and finished my cigar. Was out fairly early with my smoke, and thought, well, I got time for 2 cigars this evening. And then just because everything I was doing on the 3D printer, I didn't really smoke very fast, so it took longer than normal, and headed in early. Grabbed myself some peanut M&Ms, watched a little bit of TV, and crashed out for the night. So that's all I got for right now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe, wonderful day. Thanks for watching.